Captain Adam felt his heart beat fast as he stepped onto the polished stone floor of the Grand Hall on Evanara. He followed Lieutenant Claire and Ensign Ryan into the bright space filled with tall pillars carved in spiral designs. Thousands of lights drifted like fireflies across the ceiling. The air smelled of sweet flowers and warm spice. Adam kept his gaze low. He did not want to be the first to speak. He had read all the reports on Princess Azura, the child of the Evanaran throne. He knew she had blue skin that glowed faintly in moonlight. He knew she wore long robes of silk. He knew she spoke little because she felt shy around strangers. Claire walked beside him. She carried a small hollow tablet. She tapped it softly. Ryan walked behind them, his dark hair tied back. He held a camera that he used to record everything. Adam wondered if the royal court would allow such devices. He hoped they would. He hoped they would see that humans came in peace. A hush fell over the crowd when the human party entered. A circle of nobles in shining armor and silk robes faced them. At the far end of the hall, under a tall arch of silver, stood Princess Azura. She was still as a statue. Her long hair gleamed like starlight. Her eyes were soft and curious. Adam thought she looked lonely. Claire stepped forward. She cleared her throat. Her voice was quiet but strong. "Your Highness, we are honored to visit your world." She paused and gave Adam a nod. He took a deep breath. Adam bowed. He kept his back straight and his eyes steady. He felt the beat of his own heart in his ears. He had to say something true. He had to speak simply. He raised his voice to fill the hall. "Princess Azura," he said, his voice clear, "I have traveled far across the stars to meet you. When I first heard your name, I wondered if I would ever see such beauty. I see now that you shine brighter than any star. You are the loveliest here." The words drifted through the hall. A stillness settled over the crowd as every eye turned to Azura. Her cheeks glowed with soft light. She blinked. Her lips parted. She stood silent for a moment. Then she made a small bow. Adam noticed her voice tremble. "Thank you, Captain," she said, her words gentle. "I have never heard a human speak to me so kindly." The words hung between them like a fragile thread. Lady Mika, the princess's advisor, frowned. Her face was hard and lined with worry. She stepped forward. "Princess," she said, her voice sharp in the hush, "it is not wise to accept flattery so freely. The newcomers may seek to win your favor for hidden gain." Adam felt a chill run through him. He raised both hands in a gesture of peace. "We only wish to learn from you and to share what we know," he said. His tone was calm, honest. Azura turned to Lady Mika. Her blue eyes were bright. For the first time, Adam sensed a spark of courage in the princess. She straightened her shoulders. "I will choose my own friends and my own path," she said softly, but the hall heard it. A murmur traveled through the nobles. Some looked pleased. Others frowned. Claire stepped beside Azura and bowed. "I am Lieutenant Claire. I will be honored to serve you." She offered her hand. Azura hesitated. Then she took Claire's hand. Her fingers were cool and smooth. A ripple of light ran along her palm. Claire gave a gentle nod and released her hand. Ryan lowered his camera. He smiled behind the lens. Adam felt a small spark of hope. The ice was breaking. Claire guided the group to a side balcony overlooking the gardens. The pale marble floor opened to lush green lawns and glowing flowers. Fountains sparkled. The night sky was a deep violet. Azura walked with them. She asked quiet questions about Earth and its green oceans. Adam spoke of tall mountains and deep seas. He spoke of sky that changed from blue to gold at dawn. Azura listened, eyes wide. "Tell me more of your sky," she said. Her voice held wonder. "It changes each day," Adam said. "Sometimes it is calm and clear. Sometimes it is dark with storms. We learn to find peace even in storms." Azura nodded. She looked at his face. Her guard melted. She whispered, "I would like to see it one day." Adam smiled. His heart filled. He could see a future where he stood beside her under an alien sky or under his own Earth sky. He felt the weight of his duty to his planet and to the princess. On the balcony, the breeze carried the scent of jasmine. Azura closed her eyes. She let the air cool her skin. Adam watched her. He wanted to say more. But he knew silence had its own power. Claire and Ryan exchanged glances. They felt the sense of wonder in the moment. The three humans moved as one. Guided by Azura's quiet light. In the hall below, guests whispered. The nobles watched the human captain and their shy princes with new eyes. The seeds of friendship had been planted. Adam looked to the horizon. The dawn on Evanara was still hours away. But in his heart, a new dawn was rising. The road ahead would not be easy. Traditions ran deep. Dangers lurked in old grudges, yet in Azura's gentle words and in his simple truth, Adam found hope. He reached out to Azura. She glanced at him. Their hands almost touched. In that space between two worlds, a bond was born that no star could break. And so the first part of their story closed under soft moonlight and bright stars, with two hearts meeting across a galaxy of difference, bound by a simple whisper that opened the door to a new future. As dawn light filtered through the tall windows of the royal chambers, Princess Azura sat on a low bench beside a silver fountain. Her blue skin glowed softly in the pale light. She watched the water ripple, her mind alive with questions that felt too bold to ask. Lieutenant Claire waited respectfully a few steps away. Ensign Ryan hovered near the door, his camera secured in a holster. Captain Adam remained silent, leaning against a carved column. He gave Azura space, but his dark eyes showed gentle patience. Azura's heart beat fast when she remembered Adam's words from the night before. He had called her the loveliest in the hall. She had first thought it strange, then she felt a warmth, like the first sun of spring. She pressed her fingers against her lips as if to hold on to the memory. "Can I ask you something, Captain?" Azura spoke at last. Her tone was soft, but it carried a quiet strength. Adam pushed off the column. He walked across the polished floor. He stood before Azura, his tall frame relaxed. "You may ask anything," he said. Azura gazed at him. She chose her words slowly. "Why do humans speak such words? In our court, no one compliments the princess. So freely, words are weighed carefully. Flattery is often a tool." Adam nodded. He rested his hands on his belt. "In my world, we learn early that kindness can open doors. Words can bring people together, but words alone are not enough. Actions must follow." Claire stepped forward. She offered Azura a small box. It was plain, made of dark wood. Azura took it and opened the lid. Inside lay a single earth flower seed. "This is a rose seed," Claire said. "It needs care to grow, but it can bloom in 100 colors. I brought it as a gift." Azura touched the seed. It felt smooth and warm. She looked up at Claire. "This is rare?" "They are common on Earth," Claire said with a soft laugh. "But they are valued by those who learn to grow them." She bowed her head. "I hope you will grow it here as a sign of new friendship." Azura nodded. Slowly she closed the box. Her gaze lingered on the humans. She felt their hope, their honest wish to learn from her. Just then, footfalls echoed in the hall. Lady Mika entered, her robes trailing behind her. Her silver hair was tied in a strict braid. She stopped when she saw the humans. "Highness," she said to Azura, her voice low and urgent. "You must recall your place. These strangers may charm you with gifts. They may seek to weaken the throne. You cannot let your guard down." Azura rose from the bench. She held the seed box tightly. Her chin rose with newfound resolve. "I am the Princess of Evanara. I will learn from our guests, but I will not lose myself." She paused, then added quietly, "We will meet again soon, Lady Mika." Mika bowed stiffly. Azura watched her go. When the advisor's steps faded, Azura turned to the humans. "Will you join me in the lower gardens?" she asked. "The flowers there grow closer to the fountain waters. I find peace among them." Adam smiled. "We would be honored." Claire and Ryan inclined their heads. Together, the small group made their way down winding stairs toward the palace grounds. Outside, the gardens felt like a hidden world. Tall hedges formed green corridors. Bright flowers arched overhead. Hidden paths led to sculptures of moonstones. The air was cool and sweet. As they walked, Azura asked more questions. She asked about Earth seasons and the way rain felt on skin. She asked how humans celebrated light and shadow. Adam answered with simple words. He spoke of Earth's long winters and hot summers. He spoke of festivals when lanterns glowed in night skies. He spoke of songs sung around fires. Claire told Azura about Earth's music and art. She described paintings made with color and music made with rhythms. Ryan explained how he recorded sounds, then played them back to share memories. Azura listened. Her eyes bright, she twirled a lock of hair around her finger. She felt curious and alive. She said, "I have a gift that no human has seen. Will you stay?" Adam nodded. He stood under a flowering arch. Ryan switched on his camera. Claire leaned against a stone bench. Azura lifted her hands. Her palms turned bright. Light flickered between her fingers. The glow grew until it filled the space like soft fire. Flowers bent toward the light. The stones warmed. The sky above dimmed, as if to give space to her gift. Slowly, the light took shape. It formed petals, then leaves, then a great rose. The rose hovered above Azura's hands. It glowed with many colors. Adam and Claire gasped. Ryan's camera whirred. The rose spun slowly, each petal shimmering. When the rose faded, Azura stood smiling. She looked to the humans. Her voice was soft. "This is my light art. I shape colors into living forms. It is how I speak when words." "Feel small?" Adam stepped forward. He touched a petal of air. It rippled under his finger, as if it were real. He bowed deeply to Azura. "You have shared more than any gift," he said. "You have shown who you are." Claire smiled, her eyes wet. She bent to pick a fallen petal of light. It vanished on her palm. Azura laughed, a sound like wind through crystal. She said, "I will teach you more. But first, you must learn beyond the gardens. Will you meet me in the star chamber at twilight?" Adam nodded. He felt the promise of new understanding grow in his chest. "We will come," he said. As they left the gardens, Azura paused. She held the seed box in one hand, the memory of her gift in the other. She looked at her new friends. "Thank you," she whispered, "for seeing me." She turned and walked back toward the palace, her head held high. Adam followed. Behind him, Claire and Ryan shared excited whispers. The bond between princes and humans deepened under the bright morning sun. In the quiet halls, Lady Mika watched from a balcony high above. Her face was unreadable. She folded her arms. "This alliance may be stronger than any blade," she murmured to herself. "Or it may bring ruin." She turned away into shadow, and the palace held its breath for what was to come. As twilight fell over the palace, the sky outside turned deep indigo, studded with bright stars. Captain Adam, Lieutenant Claire, and Ensign Ryan followed Princess Azura up a spiral staircase to the star chamber. The room's dome was open to the sky. Planets and constellations glowed through countless crystal panels. Candles flickered on low tables, casting soft shadows. Azura wore a simple gown of light blue silk. Her blue skin reflected the star glow. She paused at the center of the chamber. She swept her hand, and light art bloomed around her. A circle of soft blue light formed at her feet. Adam watched in wonder. "This is my sanctuary," Azura said. "Here I study the stars and their stories." She spoke in gentle tones. Her voice echoed softly in the dome. Adam bowed his head respectfully. "Thank you for inviting us," he said. "I have never seen such beauty." He looked up. The real stars shone beyond the chambers, but here they felt closer. Azura led them to a low table. On it lay maps of Evanara's sky, drawn in silver ink. She handed one map to Claire. "These are the star paths we follow for navigation," she explained. "Each line shows how we travel between worlds." She pointed to a glowing thread that arched across the map. Claire traced the path with her fingertip. "On Earth we use similar maps, but ours are flat projections." "The sky is as endless as hope to me," she said. Azura smiled. Ryan set his camera aside to listen. Am stood beside Azura. He leaned closer to her. "Azura, why do your people revere the stars so much?" he asked. Azura's eyes drifted upward. "The stars are our ancestors," she said softly. "We believe each bright point is a soul guiding us. When we lost our home planet, we looked to the stars for comfort. We learned to read them like stories." She paused. "My mother told me each journey begins with a single light." Adam's chest felt tight. He remembered his own world's losses, lost ships, lost friends. He said, "We have stories of loss, too. I lost my sister in a storm on Earth. She loved the sea, but the waves took her." Adam's voice trembled. Azura placed her hand on his arm. Light rippled where her palm touched. Adam closed his eyes at the gentle warmth. She said, "I am sorry. Your sister's light is among the stars now." Adam opened his eyes. He saw Azura's concern. He felt comfort he had not expected. "Thank you," he whispered. Claire cleared her throat. She studied Azura's map. "We studied your world's climate data. We saw seeds sprout in sand and stone. Your people must have great patience." She smiled. Azura laughed quietly. "Patience is required when worlds change too fast. Evanara's seasons shift with our inner light. Sometimes the sky brightens unexpectedly and we must learn to adapt." She lifted a small crystal from the table. It glowed softly. "This crystal records our sky's color each day," she said. "I want to share it with you. Take one with you to Earth. Let it show you our light." She offered the crystal to Ryan. Ryan bowed and accepted it carefully. "I will bring this home with respect," he said, his eyes bright. Azura then guided them to a low balcony in the chamber. They stepped out onto a narrow ledge overlooking the palace gardens below. The night breeze was cool. Jasmine floated up from the bush. Adam faced Azura. He said, "I want to learn more of your art. Will you teach me to shape light?" His voice was hopeful. Azura studied him. Her blue eyes reflected the star glow. "It takes trust," she said. "My power is born from my feelings. I must sense your truth." She raised both hands. Light swirled between her fingers. Adam lifted his hands too, feeling shy. He closed his eyes. He thought of Earth's sky, of his sister's laughter, of his duty. Then he opened his eyes. Light shone between their hands, weak but real. Azura single quotes S. Face lit with joy. She steadied the light. It grew into a small orb. Adam's heart pounded. Claire and Ryan gasped. When the orb vanished, Azura smiled. "You did well, Captain. Your heart is open." She placed her hand on his shoulder. Adam felt a bond deeper than words. He bowed. "Thank you, Princess. I will guard your trust." He looked into her eyes. Azura nodded. She turned to beckon Claire and Ryan back into the chamber. "Tomorrow we will plant the rose seed under the twin moons. Our friendship will grow like that rose." She spoke with gentle confidence. Claire and Ryan exchanged happy glances. Ryan slipped the crystal into his satchel. Claire placed a hand on Azura's arm. "I look forward to learning from you," she said. Inside the star chamber, the candles flickered low. The maps, crystals, and sketches lay scattered on tables. Azura guided Adam to a high window. She pointed to a distant planet that glowed purple. "Beyond that world is the nebula where my people first fled. It took us decades to find safe harbor. You humans made a long journey, too." She sighed. Adam said quietly, "Our journeys are not so different." He placed a gentle hand over hers against the glass. Their breaths misted on the cool surface. Azura nodded. "Perhaps our worlds can heal together." She looked at the stars as, if seeing hope in each one, they stood in silence, two souls bound by shared loss and new understanding. The night held them in a promise of unity. In the shadows of the chamber, Lady Mika watched from a hidden alcove. Her face was unreadable. She tightened her grip on her robe sleeve. Her heart flickered with doubt and wonder. As the humans departed, Azura bowed to them. "Good night, friends." "I will see you at dawn," she whispered. Adam bowed deeply. Claire and Ryan followed. Together they left the star chamber, their hearts alight with promise. Outside, the palace walls glowed faintly under the moon. A new chapter of understanding had begun, written in light between two worlds. Jealousy stirred in the grand hall as the day of the formal dance arrived. Guests gathered in gowns and suits of bright silk. Lanterns hung from arches, casting warm light on marble floors. A soft melody drifted from unseen musicians. Princess. Azura stood on a raised dais, her pale blue gown trailing behind her like a river of silk. Light art rippled across her sleeves, making her glow softly. She looked calm, but her heart fluttered. She had never joined such a ceremony before. Captain Adam stood nearby, dressed in simple dark attire. He watched Azura with gentle pride. Lieutenant Claire stood at his side, her eyes bright with excitement. Ensign Ryan hovered with his camera. Careful not to disturb the ceremony. Viscount Darren stepped forward from the crowd. His robes were fine, but his face was hard. He pretended to smile as he approached Azura. The nobles watched his every move. Darren bowed low. His eyes flicked too. Adam, he turned back to Azura. Your Highness, he said, his voice smooth. Will you honor me with this dance? Azura hesitated. She looked at Adam. He inclined his head, giving her silent permission. She nodded and held out her hand. Darren took it with a flourish. The music swelled. Darren led Azura into the dance. Their steps were precise, feet moving in patterns learned since childhood. Azura kept her gaze on the floor, her cheeks glowing with light and emotion. Adam watched. He saw Darren's gaze flick to Azura's hand. Darren squeezed too tight. Azura winced. Her hand glowed, a ripple of pain in the light art. Ryan stepped back, his camera forgotten. Claire moved to the edge of the dais, ready to help. Easily, Darren spun Azura. His smile looked kind, but his eyes were cold. He whispered words the hall could not hear. Azura's steps faltered. Darren pressed his foot down hard on Azura's gown. The silk tore under his heel. Azura gasped. Her light art flickered and dimmed. Murmurs rose from the nobles. Guests stepped back. Some frowned, others looked shocked. Adam could not stay still. He strode onto the dance floor. The marble felt cold under his boots. Darren turned to face him, his jaw tight. Adam bowed slightly. Viscount Darren, he said, his voice calm. May I ask why you treat the princess so? He gestured to the torn silk. Darren's eyes narrowed. He glanced at the crowd, then back to Adam. He said, I did nothing wrong. The princess stumbled. Perhaps humans do not know proper steps. Adam's calm face hardened. He bowed more deeply, one hand over his heart. Princess Azura never stumbles in honor, but those who step on her honor must learn respect. He looked to Azura. Azura single quotes S light art flared bright. The air around her shimmered. She stood tall. She said, Enough, this dance is done. Her voice was soft but firm. Darren's face went pale as he realized her power. Azura raised her hand. Light lifted Darren's broken gown hem into the air, weaving it back together. The silk mended under her gentle power. Gasps filled the hall. Nobles bowed their heads. Darren stammered, I meant no harm, Your Highness. I beg your pardon. Azura stepped down from the dais. She crossed to Darren. She held out her hand. Light flowed around her fingers. Darren bent his knee. Show respect with your heart, she said quietly. Let words be gentle and actions kind. She released him. Adam joined Azura. He took her hand and bowed again. You have my respect and my friendship, Princess. His words were simple and true. Claire and Ryan came forward. Claire offered her hand to Azura too. Azura nodded and let Claire guide her off the dance floor. The music changed to a soft melody. Couples moved in pairs across the hall. The guests looked at Azura and Adam, then at each other. Some joined hands, others stood silent in awe. Azura stepped with Claire among the dancers. She laughed softly as Claire guided her through gentle steps. Ryan recorded each moment. Adam watched from the dais. He saw nobles approach Azura with new bows, their smiles kinder. Viscount Darren stood at the edge of the hall. He watched Azura's light art dance around her. He held his chin, thinking. Lady Mika watched too. Her eyes shone with pride. She whispered, She is truly born to lead. She turned away, her heart full of hope and fear. Later, near the end of the night, guests gathered. For a final toast, Azura raised a glowing goblet of sweet wine. She called for silence. Tonight we shared a dance and a lesson, she said. Her light art formed soft ribbons of color around her words. Let our alliance be like the dance, steps of honor, steps of respect. She bowed to the crowd. Adam stepped beside her. He raised his own glass. To new friends and shared peace, he said. Guests cheered. Cups clinked. Warmth filled the hall. Azura looked at Adam. She smiled. She felt stronger than ever. The jealousy of one noble could not dim her light. Outside, the evening breeze carried the sound of laughter. The palace brimmed with hope. The road ahead would hold more challenges. But tonight, the bond between worlds grew firmer under music and light. Captain Adam stood at the edge of the rose garden as twin moons rose in the sky. The silver light bathed the marble paths in quiet glow. The valley of roses spread before him, each bloom glowing faintly. He held a small planter of dark wood. Inside lay the single rose seed given by Lieutenant Claire. Adam knelt by a patch of soft soil beneath a vine of glowing jasmine. He buried the seed gently, covering it with earth. He closed his eyes and whispered, "Grow strong and true, little rose. May you blossom for us?" He patted the soil and stood. Behind him, Princess Azura and Lieutenant Claire stepped into the garden. Ryan followed with his camera, capturing every moment. Azura approached Adam, her pale blue skin bright under the moons. She brushed a loose lock of hair back. "Thank you for planting the seed," she said. Her voice was soft like water over stones. "This rose will be a sign of friendship between our worlds." She knelt beside Adam and touched the earth. A faint glow pulsed where her finger rested. Adam smiled. "I hope it will remind us to care for each other." He rose and stepped back. Claire set down a small lantern. Its light was warm and golden. As they stood, a rustle came from the bush. Azura tensed. She studied the shadows. Her eyes glowed bright. From behind a hedge emerged Viscount Darren's guard, a tall figure in dark armor. His face was hidden by a helm. Azura stepped in front of Adam, her light art flickering around her. Adam placed a hand on his blaster. Claire moved beside him. Ryan raised his camera. "Who are you?" Azura asked. Her voice was calm but firm. No answer came. The guard's steps were silent on the marble. Suddenly, he lunged. The guard swung a small blade. Adam fired a warning shot into the air. The guard dodged and lunged again. Adam tackled him, knocking the guard to the ground. Claire joined Adam. She disarmed the guard with a swift move. The guard lay still. His helm had fallen. Azura knelt and touched his brow. She whispered words the humans could not understand. Light traced along the guard's temples. He twitched. He stood dazed. He looked at Azura. "Protect the princes," he gasped. "I serve the throne." He bowed his head. Azura offered him a hand. He took it. She said softly, "You may stand with us, but leave your blade behind." He nodded and placed his weapon on the ground. Adam approached. He said, "We mean no harm, but why hide in shadows?" The guard said, "Some nobles grow jealous of the princess's bond with humans. Darren seeks to prove that humans are weak. He paused. He will strike when trust grows." He bowed. Azura single quotes glow dimmed, replaced by concern. She looked to Adam. "Dangers remain," she said. "Our friendship must stand against old fears." She touched Adam's arm. Adam squeezed her hand. "We face dangers together," he said. His voice sure. Claire led the guard away. She would bring him to Lady Mika. Ryan recorded the scene. Azura turned back to the rosebed. "Let us finish our task," she said. She knelt by the planting. Adam knelt beside her. "This seed needs light from both our worlds," she explained. She shaped a soft glow above the soil. Adam joined by using his own light art, found earlier in the star chamber. Their lights met above the seed, weaving together like threads. The earth trembled under their hands. The ground opened softly. A small sprout emerged, pale and tender. Its leaves shimmered with faint blue and green. Azura smiled through tears. "It grows," she whispered, "as our bond grows." Adam grinned. Claire returned with the guard. Lady Mika followed, her robe flowing. She knelt to inspect the sprout. "This rose will bloom in time," Mika said. "It carries both human and Evanaran light." She looked at Azura. "You have grown stronger, my princess," She bowed her head. Azura stood and faced the humans. Tomorrow we will hold a council. We will show our alliances by planting seeds in every garden across the palace grounds, she spoke with quiet confidence. Our worlds will share growth and beauty, Adam bowed. We will stand with you, princess. Together we will face whatever. Commies, his words echoed in the silent garden. Ryan lifted his camera. He captured the sprout under the gentle glow. He recorded the moment for all future generations. As the group left the garden, the twin moons moved across the sky. The promise of dawn lay far ahead, but hearts were alight with hope. In the palace above, Viscount Darren watched from a high window. His face was hard. He turned away. So they plant seeds of unity, he whispered. But I will prove that fear runs deeper than flowers. He raised his fist. In the rose garden, Azura's sprout glowed faintly, a living promise of two worlds intertwined. And under distant stars, hope had taken root. At dawn the next day, the council gathered in the morning light. Nobles, advisors, and human envoys stood in the open courtyard, surrounded by rose gardens and marble statues. Twin moons still glowed faintly in the pale sky, a reminder of the night's promise. Princess Azura stood on a low platform at the courtyard center. Beside her, Captain Adam, Lieutenant Claire, and Ensign Ryan stood in respectful silence. Lady Mika entered with Viscount Darren's guard at her side. The guard carried a woven basket filled with seeds from both worlds. Azura raised her hand, and silent light art shimmered around her. The courtyard hushed. She spoke in her gentle voice. Today we plant seeds of unity. Each seed will grow under our care, a sign that two worlds stand together. Her blue skin glowed softly, and nobles felt hope in her words. Adam stepped forward and bowed to Azura. He spoke in simple words. On Earth we plant seeds to remember new beginnings. Today we join you in this tradition. He held a small wooden bowl filled with round human seeds. He offered it to Azura. Azura took the bowl and placed seeds into the guard's basket. Claire and Ryan walked the circle, offering seeds to each attending noble. Some accepted with bowed heads, others with tentative smiles. Viscount Darren hesitated. He stepped forward, his robes flowing, and accepted a seed. He met Adam's calm gaze. The weight of duty pressed on him, but he held the seed carefully. Azura guided Adam to the first rosebed. She knelt and dug her hands into the soft earth. Adam knelt beside her. She handed him a seed from the earth world. He placed it gently in the soil. Azura pressed it with her fingers. Light art sparkled at the spot. As they finished, the guard knelt at another bed. He planted a seed from Avenara's fields. Each noble followed, kneeling in turn to plant seeds under the twin moon's light. Lady Mika watched with quiet pride. She whispered to Azura, "Your light guides them well." Azura nodded, her eyes bright. After the planting, Azura spoke again. "These seeds have both our lights in them. They will grow as we grow in trust." She turned to Adam. "Will you stand with us against any who doubt?" she asked. Adam met her gaze. He straightened and spoke clearly. "I will stand by you, Princess. I will speak of our friendship to Earth's leaders. I will honor our bond." His words carried across the courtyard. Claire added softly, "And I will serve you with loyalty and kindness." Ryan nodded. "I will record our journey so others can see our hope." Nobles murmured agreement. One by one, they stepped forward and spoke simple vows to honor the alliance. Some voices shook, but each vow carried weight. Viscount Darren stood last. He placed his hand over his heart and said, "I will respect the princess's choice and defend this bond." His voice was firm. Azura smiled with relief. The air felt light and warm. Petals of the newly planted roses trembled in a soft breeze. Tiny green shoots glowed where light art had touched the soil. Azura and Adam walked together toward a fountain at the courtyard's edge. Water played in soft arcs. She placed a hand on the fountain's rim. Light art shaped the water droplets into floating orbs. Adam watched, amazed. Azura offered him the single glowing orb. He accepted it. It pulsed gently in his palm. "This orb holds our promise," Azura said. "Carry it to Earth. Let it remind us that unity is alive." She touched Adam's arm. Thank you. Adam bowed his head. Thank you, Princess, for showing me your light. He met her kind eyes. As the council dispersed, nobles and humans walked among the garden paths. They spoke of the new alliance and the growth to come. Claire and Ryan prepared to depart. Ryan secured the orb in a protective case. Claire packed her holotablet. Azura approached them. When you return to your world, tell them of Ivanara's beauty and hope, Azura said, and know you always have a friend here. She stepped close and placed a small light art rose in Claire's hair. Claire's cheeks glowed as she bowed. I will carry your gift with honor, she said. Adam stood a short distance away. Azura walked to him. She held out the rose. He accepted. Its petals real and soft. Azura whispered, for our future. Adam nodded. For our future, he echoed. They stood together under the twin moon's light. The planted seeds were small, but they carried great promise. As humans prepared to leave, Azura and Adam watched from the palace gate. Human ships waited on a long ramp leading to the heavens. Their hulls glinted in the new sun. Adam turned to Azura. I will return soon. Our worlds will grow together as the roses will. He offered his hand. Azura placed her hand in his. Light art wrapped around them like a warm breeze. Safe travels, she said. Adam boarded his ship, roses in hand and orb secured. Claire and Ryan followed. The ship's engines hum-ed. Before takeoff, Adam pressed his hand to the gate's cool marble. He closed his eyes and whispered, Goodbye, friend, until we meet again. Azura stood at the gate, her light art shining bright. She watched the ship rise. As it left the atmosphere, she raised her hand in farewell. The ship disappeared among the stars. Below, the palace courtyard glowed with the promise of new life. The rosebeds held seeds waiting to bloom. In that moment, two worlds breathed as one. The alien princess and her human friend had surprised everyone by forging a bond that would last through seasons and stars.